Hello everyone, and happy holidays from Sarah and myself. Thanks for checking out this link, which you may have gotten from the card that we sent you. And if you were puzzled as to why this year our card had just a picture of a Christmas cactus, but it looked kind of weird, I thought it'd be fun to show you not just the technique for producing that particular photo that you saw on the card, but also what we're doing with this particular photographic technology in the research in the Arctic that I do in the summers. Of course, there are no Christmas cacti in the Arctic, but this will serve as a good model. It's more appropriate for the holidays. And what you're looking at here is a picture of the Christmas cactus. It probably looks similar to the one that you saw on the card. And you'll notice if we click on the second image that it's very similar to the first one, but the person who took the photo moved a bit. And as we click through each one of these, you can see that whoever took the picture kept moving, right? And in fact, if you go through all of the pictures, you'll see they almost made a half circle around the plant and took quite a number of pictures. In fact, there's 151 photos in this photo set. And each one is just a slight variant of the other. Now, in the same way you used your own eyes to say these photos are similar but different in terms of the angle or the distance that the observer was when taking a picture, the computer can do the same thing. And after it does an analysis of each one of these photos and how much they've moved, what I find is really amazing is that the computer can actually try to create a three-dimensional reconstruction of the actual object that was in the picture that we moved around. So to show you that, what I'm going to do is change the mode now to what's called a model. And then this shows you what came out of the analysis of all of those images. And it's pretty cool. There's our Christmas cactus. And each one of these blue squares here represents where the camera was when the photographer took the image. So you can see, as I was describing, and I was the photographer, I was making a semicircle around the Christmas cactus, and I did another semicircle from a slightly higher level, and then another semicircle from an even higher level. Sometimes I had a big gap between the photos. Sometimes the gaps were not very small, and the photos overlapped quite a bit. But the main object of our attention is the Christmas cactus. So the computer actually, looking at all of the 151 photos, said, I can tell you where each one of these photos was taken relative to one another, and then show you what those cameras see, and then stitch it all together to create a three-dimensional view, which is pretty amazing. Let me turn off these cameras so that they don't block our view. We'll hide the cameras, the little blue squares. And then this thing in the center here is called a trackball. It helps you center the object that you're looking at. I'll get rid of that too. So just because it's blocking some of our view. So I'm going to hide the trackball. Okay, now if we zoom in, you can see that looks like the Christmas cactus. In fact, here is what it looked like when we first took the image. And very, very fuzzy. Then we asked the computer to work on it and see if it could create a much higher resolution image. Took about a whole day to do that, almost 24 hours to run. And then it produced all of these points. Now you might say, wow, that's pretty good. That looks just like the plant. But it looks almost like a painting of the plant, which is where I got the idea of using it as a Christmas card, because I did not finish my Christmas card for this year, my holiday card. So, and I thought this looks just like a bit of artwork, although, you know, it's really a computer reconstruction from all the photos that I took. In the back, there's a vase with some dried pussy willows in it. This is the rug that's sitting on here. You can see that if we were to shrink it, that it actually did not get very many photos of the rug. There's not enough detail in the back, in the bookcase, to make much of what's going on. And the rocking chair was not the main object of our attention, but it did pick up enough images of the rocking chair to try to reconstruct it too. But the main focus was on this plant. What you're seeing is it just simply says, here are the points that we see that are in common to the 151 photos. And there's quite a number of points here, it's maybe a few million. And they are in relation to one another, capable of giving you a sense of what the actual object was. Now, just to show you that it is in fact just points, as we zoom in, you can see it's really not anything solid, it's just points. And these are points that are in common among the photos, except that the computer figured out how they are related to one another in this three-dimensional space. Now, if you look at places where we didn't have any information, you notice I didn't go around the back of it, right? So let's see what's in the back. You'll see it has no idea what happened in the back because there weren't any photos in the back. But it has a pretty good idea of what's going on at the front. And not only does it have a pretty good idea of what's going on in the front from left to right, but even if we go to the top, you can see, because I look down with the camera, it does a pretty good job of constructing the top of the plant as well. So you can then go further and you can build what's called a wireframe. And if you build a wireframe, which would just simply show you how all the dots connect up, this is what it looks like. And so now we're beginning to see, although it's not colored in this case, that you can reconstruct the structure. See how all the points are connected by these lines? And then each one of these lines can be considered a surface that we can then later color in, and then we could reproduce the plant. So if we go to one more step, we can do what's called texturing the frame. And there, now we don't have a point cloud anymore. We actually have a solid shape. Now when we zoom in, of course, it's low resolution, but you can see you can't see through this. It's not a point cloud. It's a series of polygons. And the flowers are not too bad looking. What's really cool about this is that we can then go and use more software to tell us what the volume of this plant is. And we can use other software and other cameras that can take pictures of the plant and tell us how active it is physiologically, and also give us a sense of which parts of it are more active than other parts. Then we can compare this plant to other plants or some species to other species, and eventually be able to scale up, not just from the single kind of vegetation up to the entire ecosystem, but from the plants themselves to the vegetation and then to the ecosystem. So I'm very excited about this work, and we'll put it to good use, I hope, as we do more research in the Arctic. What's nice about it also, I think, is it's aesthetically really quite appealing, and I thought it'd be fun to share with you this holiday season. So I hope this helps explain what that image is about. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. Enjoy the rest of your break, everyone. Bye-bye.